here's what I think is the easiest way to make new plants in the garden. It's a form of air layering, and I'll talk more about what air layering actually is in the video, but it's a version of air layering where you don't have to do any additional work after you're done except for just cut it away from the parent plant. I put up a video on this last year, and I've got several of the plants that we rooted last year were either sold, given away to friends, or they're being used in containers. I've got a David viburnum out in the front garden that's being used. It's just being used as a container plant. This is a hydrangea that I did last year. I just kept it through the winter. It was rooted into this container, and I'll show you this technique in just a minute. It's got a fantastic little root system on it, and I can just plant it where it's upright into the ground just like this right now, and it would do fantastic. Or I could pot it into a larger container as well. This is a viburnum nudum that was done this way last year. Look at this. Look at the roots on this thing. Really looks great. And again, I just planted into a larger container just like this. And I've got a nudum back here that's about 8 feet tall. Really beautiful native viburnum. Again, I bent a limb over into a container and got it rooted. So let me show you how to do it. I'll pull this viburnum nudum out of this container again and show you what I actually did to this container last year. This is what used to be called 1 gallon containers. They're actually 3 quart containers. So now they're just called trade gallon containers. Everybody ends up with these after their spring planting. But you see that little V going through the middle of it? I can reuse this pot over and over and over again, even though I've cut these 2 V's into it. Basically, we're just gonna lay a limb right through this little V across the container. So it's really just 2 quick and easy cuts. You take your used containers that you've gotten from the store earlier in the year, and I just take a pair of scissors and make a narrow V cut about halfway down the container. So there's 1 V on that side, and then just go to the opposite side and do the exact same thing. That's all the prep. That's all the prep you got. Quick and easy. And that's it. So it's just cutting 2 V's into a container to give ourselves a place to lay a branch right through it. The soil I'm going to use is a grower mix that I actually bought when I had my nursery, and I had a lot of extra bags. I'm still using the material up, but I'll tell you, it's pretty easy to mix whatever the heck, to mix something for it, and I'll tell you how to do that. This mix is a combination of pine bark, so it's just pine bark fines, some peat moss, and then some perlite, which is the white material that you can see in that mix. Perlite's great for drainage. It's great for these types of propagation techniques, seed starting, any kind of rooting of woody ornamentals or perennials that you're doing. It keeps a bit of air in the soil mix. So what I want is a mix where once I wet it, and this is way too dry, it's gonna take me a minute to get this wet. When it's wet, when I squeeze it together, it holds together in a ball, but breaks apart easily. Okay, so I would have it wet, I'd squeeze it, and then it would end up in a ball, but then I could just do this and it break apart really easily. That's what I want the soil to ultimately look like. So you can use this combination of peat moss, pine bark, and perlite like this mix is. I don't buy a whole lot of peat moss anymore, so I typically will use, if I can find pine bark, I'll use pine bark and compost. And then if it seems too heavy or too wet, I'll mix some of the white perlite into it. All of these materials are generally available. You can also use just a potting soil would be fine, but you're probably going to need to put some perlite in it to create some more air in it and not have it too wet. What we want is for it to stay moist, but not like really boggy at all. So that's all you're looking for, is something that you can hold together tightly and it'll ball up, but then it breaks apart really easily, and just, it's not like a rock of a ball when you squeeze it. All we're gonna do is take that container that we cut the V into, add our soil into it. Again, I gotta get it wet. Right up to where I cut the V in the bottom of it. So there's my soil mix, and it's right up to the bottom of that V. What we're gonna do is just go literally lay a limb in it across the container just like that, and we're gonna put a little bit of soil on top of it and a half a brick, and this thing's gonna root really quickly. Let's go do that now. Here are the 2 that I showed you earlier And right here is where you can see where that hydrangea was actually cut from the plant after it had rooted into the container. On this viburnum nudum, that's where the branch comes out of the side, and then all of this new growth has happened since then. All we want to do is come over here. We've got our container with the groove in it. We've got the soil in here. I ran the water hose on this 3 times in order to get this soil wet. Once it dries out, it's really hard to re-wet, especially peat moss. Again, I don't use a whole lot of peat moss anymore, but I still have some bags of some things left over from my time in the nursery business. All we do, so I've got that viburnum nudum in the front garden out there in a container, and all I did to start that plant was, again, same thing again this year. I will take a few of the leaves off of the limb that I'm going to root from, and that way there's enough for it to lay across the container. You know, there's about a 6 inches of bare branch with no leaves on it. Then I'm going to lay that branch across the slit in that container, put a little bit of soil on top of it, not much, and then put half a brick on top of it. And that's all it needs. The difference between this technique and air layering, this is air layering, what we're doing here, which is just rooting on a stem while it's still attached to the plant. The beauty of this technique is after this is rooted, all I got to do is come in here with a pair of pruners and prune it away from the parent plant, and it's already in a container. It's already rooted into a container, so then we can overwinter it, move it to someplace else, go ahead and plant it, whatever we want to do. Air layering would involve taking up here on the branch, creating some sort of like wrapping some peat moss around the branch, and then wrapping some plastic around that and making some sort of wound on the branch. And then later it would root into the roots would come out from the branch, initiate into that little peat moss bag that we created on the branch. And then we'd cut the branch away, and then we would take it and pot it into a container. It's not a whole lot different, right? It's not a whole lot different at all. I like this technique because it's already rooted into the container, and it's done. It takes away a step. It takes away some of the plastic that I would be using otherwise. This is a recycled container that something else came in, so it's just sitting here anyway. And I can reuse this container, even though I've damaged it with the scissors. I can just reuse it over and over and over again. So I'll give you a close-up view. I'm going to do this gold weigela behind me as well. This is a gold foliage weigela. It has kind of a pink and white flower on it. It's not the best flowering weigela in the world, but it stays this gold color the rest of the season. Great, really great plant. I just find any low-hanging branch that I can get all the way down to the ground like that, okay? And then I'm taking enough of the leaves off that it will stretch across that container without having any leaves on them. I'll leave all these leaves on it just like that, but I've got enough of that branch. You see that? It's about, I don't know, my hand is back in the dark a bit right there. I basically stripped that branch about 8-9 inches across, and then I'm just going to put the container right below it, sitting on a rock there, bury it down slightly into that soil, or add a little bit of soil, whatever's necessary to accomplish this task. And then I'm putting a brick on top just to make sure it stays in the container. Doesn't matter if it's a brick. It can literally be anything else you'd want to use, but that's it. It's a branch stripped of a few leaves, stretched out across a container that we cut 2 V's in with some potting soil and a brick on top. A month from now, it'll have roots on it, and I can cut it away from the parent plant and then protect it for the winter time. I'll show you one more woody shrub, and then I'll show you a perennial before we wrap this up, a herbaceous perennial. This is a Ralston's hardy viburnum. I rooted the viburnum nudum in the video last year. Some of these plants where a branch is right down on the ground, we could just cover up this branch with a little bit of mulch or compost or something right on the ground. So I could take this branch and pin it, take the leaves off of it exactly like I'm doing to go into the container, and root it right into the ground, and then separate it from the parent plant. So there's that option. If you have a branch that's right on the ground, you can strip the leaves off of it, put a little mulch over the top of it. That branch will likely root into the ground, and then you can cut it away from the parent plant later, same as we're doing with this. But again, that's still going to require some transplanting, which is another step, which is no big deal. But at the end of the day, if I do it in this container, you know, like this, when I cut it away, it's already in the container. So I'll find me a branch that's long enough that I can take some leaves and small little side branches off of. All I'm doing is cleaning up a stem. You can do this with some pruners and make it really neat, or if it's something where the leaves just kind of pop off easy, you can do that as well. But you know, normally pruners, but this pair of scissors will work because it's what I've got in front of me. But all I've done is taken a branch that's on the side of this plant and cleaned it up. Now, making a little spot for it right there, putting the branch through, putting some soil over the top of it, putting this brick on it, and there you go. Take about a month for that to root in, and then we'll cut it away from the plant. Here's a salvia blooming away in midsummer. Bees are absolutely loving it. A lot of our perennials are dividable. So, you know, things like hosta, lots of our salvias actually, a lot of them are, you know, completely dividable, but some of them just don't really readily sucker. You know, a lot of perennials go to sleep, and when they come back up, they've suckered wider. This bee balm that's next to it is a great example of that. It'd be easy just to dig up a piece of it and transplant it somewhere else. You wouldn't need to do this technique. But some of our perennials are just little, you know, almost like a woody stem at the bottom of them, and they really don't offer up a lot of additional material to divide them later. This particular salvia is an example of that. And again, it's just taking any kind of, will root really, really quickly. The best time of year to be doing this is from about June 15th to August 15th. That's the best time of year. There's other time, you could probably do this other times of year, but when they're actively growing during the as the new growth from the spring slightly hardens off by early to midsummer is the absolute best time. But I'll take, you know, here's a branch on this salvia, just literally taking, just like we've done on the woody shrubs as well. You know, I'm taking leaves off of it carefully, not trying to strip the whole stem down. And it's just enough material, I think I can get this out of the way, just enough material there to go across this container. I'll bend it down. I didn't bring a brick with me. Again, you can use anything you want to weight it down. I just happen to have a bunch of half a bricks laying around, so here it is. I'll stretch. Oh man, I broke the piece off. Okay, so we're gonna do another one. Ain't no big deal. No big deal at all. Some things you'll find will be slightly more fragile than others, and I got in a little bit of a hurry there and bent it down too quick. Okay, so there we go. I've stripped another piece. Container's right here. You know, going across the container, covering it slightly, putting the brick across to weight it down. That's it. Container sitting there. It'll root in. This salvia will root really quickly. Maybe in as little as 2 weeks, I'll have some roots initiating on it. Here's the David viburnum. Again, roots readily. I need to put a little bit more water in it now that it's there. You'll check the water occasionally. You'll see the color of the soil change in time as it dries out, so it'll become a lighter color. Let's see. And if we go around to right there, again, stripped a few leaves off that branch, ran it through that slit in that pot, covered it slightly, put a brick on top. That's how simple this is. Holly's always got to make her way into video. I don't know if she already had been or not. It always surprises me when I'm editing that she's figured out a way to walk behind me at some point. It's a very warm, muggy morning here in North Carolina. I'm doing this around July 20th, something like that. It's when I'm getting around to this. Again, I could start at any time between even the 1st of June. It's just you want the new spring growth to slightly harden off. That's the stuff that roots the best. The oldest wood on the plant, last year's wood that's really, really hardened off, it will root, not on everything, but on some things. It tends to root a little slower. And then the really new growth will root as well, but then sometimes has to be handled a little more delicately when you're doing propagation. So I always find that the kind of middle ground, the spring growth that's slightly hardened off, is not only easy to work with, it's forgiving and still roots quickly like juvenile material would or brand new material would. And again, it's just a super easy technique. I think I got 100% last year. I even rooted, I rooted a dahlia this way, and it formed tubers or started to form tubers, and then I forgot to protect it more than other things, and it died during the winter time. But every single shrub I did, all I did was I cut them away from the plant. I think will be a month, maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks. What I'll do is I'll check them. I'll just take the brick off and I lift the branch a little bit. And then if there's no roots on it or there's very little roots on it, I'll just leave it for another week or two. Again, I'm checking the water on them occasionally, but that's it. Once they're cut away from the parent plant, I really wouldn't be fertilizing them in the late summer, early fall. I don't want to push any new growth on them really. We'll fertilize them coming out of dormancy the next year. These two have never been fertilized and they're perfectly fine. They would have liked some fertilizer by now, that's for sure. I should have, as they came out of their winter dormancy, fertilized these containers. They'd be much bigger now. That viburnum Davidii that was done at the exact same time that's in that front container is 4 or 5 times bigger than these because it's been in a container that got fertilized. These were just, as an, I was just doing as an example for you guys. There's an entire playlist on the channel called propagation, and I've got all different types of propagation techniques if you want to learn how to do more mass propagation. If you're trying to do 50 of something or something like that, I've got videos that can teach you some of those techniques. But if you're just trying to make 1 or 2 more of something, this is a really easy technique. Most people have a few of these trade gallon containers laying around, certainly a pair of scissors and a little bit of some sort of soil mix that's got some aeration in it. Perlite's good for that. Stick a limb down in it. I can't even see those containers over there. They're not unsightly at all. Most of them are up in the plant a little bit. So, I'll be out here rooting things and people won't even know it's going on. And then free plants. So thank you guys for following along, and I really appreciate it.